Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Toriono with Toriono Knows Ball. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me at all socials at Toriono Knows Ball on TikTok, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, and as well as Instagram. Today we're going to be talking about the big hitters and the change in the front office, as well as the coaching staff surrounding Liam Coen. We're going to talk about Tony Boselli, Anthony Campanile, as well as Grant Udinski, the newest addition to the team. First off, we're going to talk about the new EVP position. Tony Boselli, Hall of Famer and Ring of Honor member for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was the first ever first-round selection for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 1995, number 2 overall. This was a phenomenal player back in his playing days, and I expect for him to be a phenomenal EVP for Shad Khan as well as the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was given this opportunity as well as inside the room to interview Liam Coen as an advisor to Shad Khan during the process, which led to this eventual position, as it was needed for Shad Khan to have some football intellect in his ear and to have someone help guide the team and the future of this franchise. Tony Boselli will have a role that entitles him to still have leadership within the unit and help the GM, help the coach, as well as be a bridge for Shad Khan as far as football knowledge. But this will also have him take some roles from the general manager and head coach and ease it for the first-time GM and first-time head coach, which we're expecting the first-time GM to be interviewed next week, as well as have second rounds of interviews the following week. Boselli will be responsible for player engagement, football technology, football travel and logistics, equipment, sports performance, team security, and football communications. Boselli was one of the best bodyguards that the Jacksonville Jaguars can ask for, so having him be a part of, fronting what we have in team security is kind of funny to me. But all jokes aside, Boselli, I expect for him to be a phenomenal choice for EVP. He's been good so far. Outside of the potential Wall hire at general manager, we'll get into that next week. But Boselli will play a role with the team and figuring out who the general manager is going to be, what the direction of this team will be, trying to get to that fast approach that Liam Coen has been, parading around over the last week or so, and just trying to get to that level of football that we need and that he wants to see and that the city wants to see. We want something to be proud of, and I believe Boselli will help in reaching that and help Shad Khan make the best decisions as far as football personnel as well as football talent. So I'm excited to have Boselli in the building. Congratulations to him and his family. I know he was formerly working in healthcare as well as in radio, so excited for him to get this big of an opportunity. Next, we're going to talk about the defensive coordinator hire in Anthony Campanile. Coming from the Green Bay Packers, Campanile was the linebackers coach as well as the run game coordinator. This guy helped build a unit that was the 4th best in the league. We're not talking about top 15. We're not talking about top 10. Number 4. 4. So this guy knows how to stop the run, which the Jaguars need to do. He knows how to game plan for the linebackers, which we have excellent talent in the linebacker room. It's one of our deeper rooms on this roster. And we need to get the most out of Devin Lloyd, as well as Chad Muma and Ventrell Miller. I mean, we have young guys, and then you have a guy that should have been an all-pro in his career in Foyesade Aluakan. So for me, getting a guy that knows the linebacker position, knows pass rusher too. I mean, this guy helped Rashawn Gary have an all-pro caliber season, whether you call it a Pro Bowl season or all-pro caliber. Rashawn Gary had a career year this year, and it was due to having Campanile in his ear, giving him that boost. So I believe, this guy can help Josh Hines-Allen. He can help Travon Walker. He can help Yasir Abdullah. You have guys that are outside linebackers, whether you want to call them D-ends now. Depends how the formation on this defense looks. But these guys came in as outside linebackers. These guys have the pedigree of top talent. I mean, if he can get the most out of Rashawn Gary, I expect completely for Travon Walker to have another 10-plus sack season. I expect another career year from Josh Hines-Allen. This guy is a pass rush guru. This guy is a linebacker guru. I mean, this guy has the juice. If you watched Hard Knocks, you know this guy has the juice. If you've seen any clips on X, you know for certain this guy has the juice. So I look forward to having Anthony Campanelli take over this defense. It's nice to have a fresh voice. Another young guy, 42 years old. Uh, he's going to be a great voice for this team. He was another hot DC candidate. So getting him, missing out on Selah is tough for some fans, but I think Campanelli was one of the best, one of the best bargains on the market. So do want to talk a little bit more about his guidance at the linebacker position. They allowed, for the first time, the Packers allowed less than 100 rushing yards per game since 2016. Like I said, that run game, he's able to stop it. This guy knows how to get between the tackles and stop the running back. They allowed 318 rushing yards per game. Or I'm sorry, the Green Bay's defense finished fourth in total points allowed at 318 and fifth in total defense at 314.5. So that defense was really good last year. And I mean, in terms of talent, there's not that big of a gap in terms of talent that is on the Green Bay Packers defense and what we have on the Jaguars defense. And I mean, you even got a guy from the Packers last year in Darnell Savage. So I'm sure he has a rapport with Campanelli. I look forward to seeing what he does with the linebackers trio that we have. Honestly, we have a quartet. And speaking of quartets, Green Bay was one of the 4 teams in the NFL in 2024 with 3 linebackers with over 75 tackles. And that is Edgerrin Cooper, the rookie, Quay Walker, former first-round pick, and Isaiah McDuffie, respectfully. Isaiah McDuffie also had a career-high 94 tackles this year, and Quay Walker ended up with 105 tackles. Could you imagine if we had 3 guys get over 75 tackles? I mean, you have the guys that can do it. You have the horses. You have Foye Sadaluakanu who can get over 100. Devin Lloyd can reach 90. Ventrell Miller can get over 75. These are guys that can play these similar roles. You have the athletic profiles, and you have the depth. So I look forward to seeing what he does with this linebacker core, and I'm excited for Anthony Campanelli. Congratulations to him and his family. And I'm also very excited for what this means for the pass rush. It's not set in stone if we're going to be a 3-4 or a 4-3. I look forward to hearing him say that in his introductory press conference. But we shall see what he says and what the goal for this defense is going to be. But I know it's going to be fast. So let's dive into a little bit more coordinator talk with Grant Udinski, the young, and I mean young, offensive coordinator. He's coming from the Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings, and he was formerly the assistant OC or offensive coordinator and assistant QB coach. So he was responsible for a lot of the development of J.J. McCarthy behind the scenes. We'll see how that plays out for next season. But also played a role for Kirk Cousins last year, as well as Sam Darnold this year. And when they went through that myriad of injuries last year, when they dealt with having 4 quarterbacks play throughout the course of the 17-game season, Udinski was a big part in keeping the game plan going, having the QBs prepped, and making sure that guys were ready to go whenever they went out and had their opportunity. I mean, 5th total offense with 4 different quarterbacks, and this guy was, as they say, O'Connell's guy, his right-hand guy, in terms of prepping the quarterback. This guy, I'm hearing he's a whiz kid. And I'm excited to see how he does as far as being the play drawer. He's going to have a responsibility in really facilitating an offensive game plan. He's not going to be the play caller, but he will help in dialing up the plays, in drawing the plays, the sequencing of the plays, and making sure that the quarterback is aware of what the offense entitles for the upcoming week, whether it be the preseason or the regular season. So Udinski is a great hire to me. If O'Connell expects for him to be a future head coach, anytime you can get a guy that's going to be a future head coach, it is an A-plus hire. If you understand that this guy has the intellect, the football knowledge, the acumen, the juice, and he wants it, this guy knows ball and he lives ball, you got a guy. So, and I feel like we did that at the defensive coordinator position as well as the offensive coordinator position. Not only did you go young, but you went with guys that are great communicators. You hear from other coaches as well as players that these guys are excellent communicators. You can really tell that they're one of the smartest people in the room, and that's what you want around Coen. Whether they have the experience at the position or not, doesn't necessarily say that they're going to have success or not. There's a barometer on this, So if these guys can come in and adapt and move quickly, and that's what Coen has talked about, being adaptable, being ready to go every week, depending on who's in, who's out, who's traded, who's signed, doesn't matter. As long as you're able to adapt, you're ready to play for the Jaguars. And so I think it's going to be the same thing for the coaching staff. I think these guys are going to be able to adapt. And Udinski has shown in his past, if we have an injury at, say, the quarterback position, or say at the running back position with the running backs that we do have that we could draft, with the wide receiver position, if we have injuries, he's ready to dial up for anybody. And that's the same thing for Coen. Coen dealt with this past season in Tampa and lost Mike Evans at some point, lost Chris Godwin for the season, and he helped Jalen McMillaney. I'm excited to see what these guys are able to dial up with this roster, how the roster continues to develop, and what they add in free agency in the draft. Um, Udinski also has prior work with the Carolina Panthers in 2021. And I mean, before he joined the Viking staff, he was with the Panthers, as I said, respectively, as well as Baylor. So he does have some college experience as a graduate assistant. But this guy's on the fast track to be a head coach, and he's 29 years old. I mean, he could be here legitimately for 3 to 4 years as he develops as an OC, maybe get play calling duties later on in his Jaguars tenure, and then become the hottest guy on the market as a head coach if we have success. So I ultimately think you have guys that can help you lead to success. And if you bring these guys in and bring the talent that you need to influx this roster, you're looking at a playoff team. So I'm excited. We're landing young and in-demand coaches. I expect creativity and experimentation suited for the players, not simply just for play calls. And juice and ball is life is the new wave in Jacksonville. So let me know in the comments below how you guys are feeling, Jacksonville Jaguars fans. Thank you guys for watching. This is Toriono Knows Ball. As I said, you can follow me at all socials, at TikTok, Instagram, X, and anywhere else you can find me. Thank you guys for watching, and go Jags.